And this is where I get philosophical. I'm thinking about life and death. And now I'm going to have to pull it out of the whiskey jar because what I wanted to say left me. Part of the camera is to capture moments like that. So life and death. Planning ahead for death, I think that's one of those things that I'm not going to plan for. Like they keep asking me if I have a plan to kill myself. It's like, no, assholes. I have a plan to live. So what the fuck is that plan? So death and pain, to go really philosophical, are things you can plan other things instead of. That's not coming across right. The effort you put into feeling the pain, feeling the remorse, thinking about death, the more time you're wasting during your life. So focus on the life stuff. What can I do with this life? And then it gets into religion and government and money and freedom, and those are usual rants for me in my journal. But this philosophy of belief, maybe, the science of belief, the belief of science, however it's worded. These people look at me and go, yes, space is accelerating apart, or however they phrase it. It's like, no, you don't understand the data. And that's kind of how I felt about a lot of what I learned in school. I never gave a shit about history until someone pointed out, well, these are people dealing with some shit. It's like, well, all I hear about is, names and dates, and I don't really care about that. What's going on? Yeah, people fighting and killing each other. I really don't want to know about that. Science is pretty cool. It's what I normally write down in the journal. And a lot of the words get mashed together sometimes. I can't find the right word, so I pick 3 words that are pretty close. But all vaguely slightly different. And that's how they kind of do things with Danish. I mean, it's not 3 similar words, it's 2 different words. Ægteskab. Egg is egg. Te is tea. Skab is cabinet. But you make an egg tea cabinet, and that translates to marriage. So I'm guessing that's a common wedding gift, is that you get an egg tea cabinet. That means you are married. Or maybe it's one of those rites of passage things. My grandmother wanted to give me some fancy watch for turning 18. I'm like, I don't really wear watches. I find them annoying. And so They're like, well, how about a belt kit? It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And that's the free floating thoughts. You do this without teeth and brain damage and heavy doses of cannabis. Leaf. That's the important part. I can't work up the courage yet to actually contact a dispensary. I've spoken to a few of them, and they're all willing to chat because they're well-meaning people. They're not perfect either. It's kind of mini sleeping there. I don't want to call it micro, that's just too small. The coffee's good too. I have some more left. Just wasting my time playing games today. Kind of like I do every day. I mean, what do you do on the holiday? What do you do on the weekend? What do you do when people are trying to work? It's like, well, at work they don't want to be bothered with this shit, even at the college. You know, my friends don't need to be bothered with any of this. They got a life too. So, you know, I'm just willing to let go of this to go have a hack at life. And why it means standing on the shoulders of giants. I think that was something Newton said. And I'm going to have to kick a few of them in the neck. Because that's not science. It's very arrogant. But they're asking for it. You know, I get so smug that, the space itself is expanding and shrinking. You know, all at different rates at the same time. Because that's what the chart shows. They don't understand frames of reference. And I know I've said all of this shit before on camera, in my journal, to everyone else. I just need to keep repeating it until someone else goes, okay, tell me more. And I would have to ask, what do you want to know? And because that's the way belief works. And maybe it's also how understanding works. You know, understanding, you gotta communicate. It's like, no, you're not looking at this from a big enough perspective. That's the frames of reference thing. You know, like on The Gods Must Be Crazy. The quote-unquote civilized guy gives the quote-unquote uncivilized guy money. It's like, I don't have any use for this. I'm going home. We don't have this crap. And he's like, but please, just take it, you know, I don't know, it's a souvenir or whatever the guy said. It's like, fine, I'll receive your money if you makes you feel better. And the guy dropped it as soon as the guy walked away. And that's kind of how I feel. about these beliefs. And I understand it makes people feel good. I understand that, you know, if you don't have refrigeration, you shouldn't eat meat on Fridays because it's gone bad. Butcher cut it up on Monday. Shouldn't eat shellfish in the desert because you don't have refrigeration. I've probably done that rant on camera. No one sees, no one cares, and I haven't given people the interest to care yet. I don't know how to market this. Marketing just sounds repulsive. So eventually one of my friends is going to see this, and we're going to agree some of this could probably be cut out, and just, nice things. It'd be a little video version of all those old Chinese sayings you'd hear, or whatever culture you want to say. Wives' tales, the Bard, and whoever signed it anonymous. That was a cool idea. I like that. That's why it's my heroic middle name. And this is just another stoner rant. I don't know how any of it is going to be useful to anyone. But it's something I need to get out of my head because it won't stop bouncing around. And yeah, I question my sanity constantly. Sometimes the music is not only just a distraction to wake me back up, but to also catch my thoughts. Mexican radio? What's he talking about? Okay, that distracted me enough from whatever sorrowful rant I was about to go on. It's this left right, that's what I'm going for. I have no idea why I do that. I get myself worked up enough to cry a little, and I go, oh, the pressure's gone, okay. And then I can start laughing about good, fun thoughts. That's where a lot of the jokes are coming from, for me. I don't know how other people do it. And, that's a question you hear a lot. How do you do it? How many times am I going to have to fucking say that? I need to get it out of my head. Maybe if I watch these myself enough, and hopefully once is enough, I'm going to say, okay, yeah, I've heard that enough, I don't need to say it anymore. Or, I need to remember it, and only say it when it needs to come up. So I'm the living experiment on many levels. What would you do if you could do it? There. I'd move to a country that takes care of its own, that pays taxes. So, and yeah, we understand people have problems, but contribute what you can. I'm like, okay, what do you want? There's a list of 5 different things that they wanted. I think I have this on camera too. And it was academia, which is this astronomy crap, and the quantum physics crap. information technology, which is where I spent my time computer programming. I don't want to get involved in that. I wouldn't mind giving it some advice if people had questions, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Something in medicine, and I'm not going to claim cannabis as a medicine. Because their version of medicine is not what cannabis is. Cannabis is helpful. There. Cannabis isn't medicine, it's cannabis. And you can take that in different directions. You can say, yeah, it's a drug, that's why we don't permit it. Well, it's a drug just like all the other shit is drugs, but it works so much better than all your other shit, which is why you stomp it out. Like stomping out the subway systems or fairway systems in cities so that car, oil, and tire companies can profit. And now we've destroyed the environment. So these lawmakers and businessmen can just take it all. Life is a game. It can be like Monopoly, and that's what America's turned out to be. And I don't want to fight it. A lot of us seem a bit brainwashed, a little too easily believing that money has value, that your nationality, your pride in your nationality has value. Okay. You don't be proud of the nation, be proud of what your nation does. That's much different. Oh, I can apply that to family. So pretty much everywhere you go, if the behavior is not acceptable, then back off from it. Behavior is based on belief. It's usually belief in what you or the individual thinks the truth is. Only rarely does the truth ever matter. It mostly depends on what you believe it is. And to me, that doesn't matter. What matters is how you behave based on your beliefs. Don't believe I am not in pain and just trying to get wasted. Don't believe a rising line means acceleration. Certainly not in the direction you think it is. This is just all throughout my journal. And I keep thinking about just reading the journal and how the first two words I put in the journal is just fuck you. Because what am I thinking about? I don't know. I'm really angry. Just don't ask me any questions. I'm talking to myself. Just fuck you. And it's not even directed at anyone. It's just the feeling. Those are the feelings I'm familiar with, okay? Because it's just anger. And it's not directed at anyone. And it's certainly not myself. That's what they're claiming about the depression. And yeah, I can behave better. The truth is that I'm in pain. My belief was that this is normal for me. My behavior was squeezing out this overly assertive behavior. It's like, I'm pretty sure something, I'm going to state it that way. Because that's the way I've learned. It's like, listen, letters and numbers don't exist, but they're good to believe in because they help you do shit. Okay, that's valid. Okay, the religion I mostly see as just constriction of freedom, and now a much darker tone, their method of eugenics and intelligent design, not by a deity, but by whoever's running the religion. That's dark. And then companies taking over, that's dark too. Money is fiat. I had to look up all that shit, and it's been a fun ride. I don't know how much of it is true. I don't know how much of it I give a shit about. That's the whole thing about the belief stuff. So whether I believe or not, it kind of doesn't matter. Right? A lot of it is entertaining, all this UFO theory crap. That sounds more plausible than, deities snapping their fingers to create the universe. But I do like the idea of gods, but more on a hero level. And that doesn't mean I'm trying to obtain godhood by calling myself a hero. I'm nowhere near Hercules, okay? That's not my superpower. My superpower was surviving a brain tumor. And learning to breathe like that so I can continue breathing. Dealing with the pain. That's not a heroic power anyone wants unless you need it. And a lot of heroes are out there needing it. I'm really going to have to cut up this video so that people don't have to see the whole thing. This is where I would clip something clever from my journal and post it as an excerpt up on Facebook. So, not gods, heroes. I'll accept a hero. What makes a hero? The one line I remember, I told to Julie, my hero, is that a hero defines the boundaries by going beyond them. That seems a good enough explanation for me. So how long can you go without actually sleeping? That's a boundary no one wants to cross. But I can't sleep. So here I am, over beyond the pale is the proper expression. I don't know, pale is more like the white fence beyond the boundary. The safety zone. That's my interpretation. Can you believe pain doesn't exist when you're suffering? No. You can confine it and you can push it away. For me, it mostly focuses on The, the entry points to my skull that I was not born with. Every silver lining has a cloud, maybe. These pointless games are a nice distraction. It kind of makes me think of the progression. Like when I play that Master of Orion. Can't wait to establish myself and actually play that game legitimately. I bought Mu 2 a long time ago, but I have been downloading it illegitimately because I don't know where my copy is. Boo-hoo. They also have free patches, which did not come with the purchased items, so that's nice too. It's just a nice mind-numbing game. It's like, well, if you had control of the society, what would you do? Well, I'd explore the universe, but I'd wait till I was ready. That's apparently my perspective. I wait till I got enough armor and speed and weapons to go out and safely explore the universe. And in the game, each race you can pick their certain aspects. Well, it's like, well, if I'm going to give myself a power, what would I give myself? It's mind control. Easy. That's what they got in there. They're telepathic mind control. What that means is you basically convince the civilization, hey, this is a better way, come join us. And the way I'm looking at it is that, all the different civilizations, they're building up their technology and whatnot and fighting their wars. Like, listen, if your outdated technology wants to fight mine, I'll blow it out of the sky, and then I'll get you to come over and realize that fighting is not really worth it. Only when you need to. And in the game, they got this Orion, big giant alien ancient spaceship being, whatever it is, that you get bonus points if you take it out. And it's doable, but I can take out all the other races long before I'm worried about Orion. And then you got these Antarans that just warp in out of nowhere and muck with you. And again, I can build up the tech. It's no big deal. It's just time. And I've taken them out before. It's kind of cool. But completely unnecessary. The mind control. You just, okay, listen, society. This is the way it works. The rare point is when they have a telepathic hero guarding their planet. You can't mind control them. Then you gotta fight. That's the only time I ever fight. Aside from what I'm calling their drones out in space. I'm hoping they're not actually populating these spaceships. And in the game, since I pretty much maxed the direction of my technology, and along the way I get useful items, but not necessarily economic for the path I'm taking. And I'm realizing that some of the things are just a waste of time and energy. Like, well, if I'm going to develop that along the way, and it's higher than what other people have, they're going to want it. And they can't afford to waste that crap, but they do, because the computer goes, hey, that's a better piece of equipment, so we need to invest in it. And they bury all their time in that technology. Food replicators is what it is. It's really expensive, but you can feed your people without farming, which is important on a planet you can't farm on. Planet, country, village, a place you can't farm in. Food's important. Okay, but it's ridiculously expensive, and that's a economy fuck. I'm familiar with that. It's a peaceful way of destroying a society. For me, it's just a game, but I'm seeing this in real life. It's really kind of scary to make that connection. And the mind control, it's like, listen guys, it's just better this way if we stop fighting. They're okay. And no one has to die. Nothing has to get blown up. Sometimes they go, well, here, have some technology that you didn't previously have. It's like, hey, thanks, that is useful. I will, add your biological and technological distinctiveness to my own. Just Borg mind control kind of thing. And that was a Star Trek reference to the Borg, who are cyborgs, cybernetic organisms. And in Denmark, a citizen is a Borg, spelled B-O-R-G. A Borgmeister, probably the second one, Meister. Borgmeister is a mayor. It's a citizen master. That's how they combine their words. That means mayor in English. So the joke is, I wish to add my biological and technological distinctiveness to their own. And I don't know, mind control, the only thing I want to control people's minds, the only way I want to do that is to order people to control their own mind. And that doesn't always work. Controlling my own mind, that's been a fight. We'll let some of those go wispy, how about that? Silly 80s music. It is fun. I still like the new shit, which I'm finding probably sounds a bit like being in the womb with all the duh of the heartbeat, because a lot of these beats are very much like that, just a hard background tone, and then other shit going in the foreground. The foreground is like the DJs, the people on stage, and then all the other background stuff is the crowd, and that imagery is kind of cool. I was watching an hour-long concert that someone put online. It's just really cool. That's my argument with Sunday Assembly, is that, if you're going to play 80s music, play the good shit, damn it. And this one that they're playing right now is just bouncy, but it's got the guitar, and it's a mix between the popular bouncy shit, which I don't normally care for, and the grinding that I do like. So, I like it. This is what goes through my head all the fucking time. And I would like it to get out. So does that mean I'm crazy? Probably. Does that matter? I don't know. I would say it's unhealthy, but what am I gonna do? I'm not healthy, so deal with it the best I can. That's the hero attitude, not God. And the enjoy the days. Ooh, I don't know if I mentioned this on camera yet. I think I have. But Tua and Freya. I'm gonna have to learn how to pronounce those names. Doing it in Denmark and seeing what people think. And maybe creating that within the medical group. Again, cannabis, that's a different thing. Not medicine. The medical side that they wanted from their, I don't know, the jobs they wanted immigrants to have, the top list, was medical. Now, I'm not going to profess any expertise other than surviving. It's hard to get a grip on. So I want to speak with other survivors. This will be after medicine. Okay, I don't know if you want to call that as part of their what they want, but I think it would help. Just witnessing the women online with the endometriosis. All of them heroes. Okay? Not gods, heroes. Damn it. Part of being a hero is sometimes you gotta accept that you're gonna be a villain to some people some of the time. If you can avoid that, give it a shot. That's the heroic part. It's trying not to be a villain. As much as it fucking hurts. Okay, the music's off. Couldn't quite get the tears to come. So, I'm going to give laying down a shot again. It's now, if I can get it down to one image, not really, 3:40 p.m. This is Turkey Day. November 23rd. 3 days of Hachdi 48. Man, these episodes are long. Yeah, watch them in pieces. Maybe that's the best advice. Alright. Good night, good day, happy Turkey Day.